Hello friends. Welcome to this wonderful video of Chartered Accountancy Course, CA course. Everything you want to know about Chartered Accountant. In this video we will talk about meaning of Chartered Accountant, importance of becoming a Chartered Accountant, career options for Chartered Accountant, income a Chartered Accountant can earn, complete process of CA course, levels in CA course, papers in CA course, passing criteria, etc. Let us understand the meaning of a Chartered Accountant. In simple words, a Chartered Accountant means a person who has passed the CA final exam of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India (ICAI) and is a member of the ICAI. Please note that you can become a Chartered Accountant by passing the CA final exam. However, to act as a Chartered Accountant, you need to have the membership of the ICAI. Now let's talk about importance of a Chartered Accountant. As the name indicates, a Chartered Accountant is a person who has a charter of the audit of the financial statements of an entity. It means in India, other than a Chartered Accountant, no one else can do the audit of the financial statements. Further, CA exam ranks among top 10 toughest exams in India. It is a highly paying profession. Many countries recognize this exam as equivalent to world-class accounting professional course. Many universities recognize this exam as postgraduate exam, and Chartered Accountants are eligible for doing MPhil or PhD. It would be fascinating to know that at present around 4.5 lakh Chartered Accountants are there in India. Hence this exam still has lots of demand in both India as well as outside India. As mentioned already, mere passing the CA exam is not sufficient to act as a Chartered Accountant. One has to take the membership of the ICAI to take the audit assignment as a Chartered Accountant. Additionally, only members can have the Certificate of Practice. A Certificate of Practice is a certificate given by the ICAI to its member to carry out the practice of this profession and do the audit of financial statements. Now let's talk about the career options available for Chartered Accountants. A CA can either start his practice or he can also have a job. As per Code of Conduct of ICAI, a member in full-time job cannot apply for Certificate of Practice. There are many areas where a Chartered Accountant can provide his service both in practice as well as in job like accounting, taxation, treasury management, financial advisory, merger or acquisition, fundraising, startup consultancy, international taxation, etc. However, only a practicing Chartered Accountant can do the audit of financial statement. Now let's talk about the income a CA can earn. Though, it depends on many factors like overall academic performance, number of attempts one has taken to clear this exam, etc. However, based on the current trend, a CA can earn from Rs 5 lakhs to Rs 2 crore per annum. However, the range of earning depends on the expertise a CA carries as well as his total number of years of experience he or she has. However, as a beginner, a CA can easily get a starting package of Rs 5 to 10 lakhs per annum in India. After having an idea of the earnings a CA can have, let us now discuss the fees the students have to pay for doing the CA course. Students are required to pay the registration fees and examination fees at various levels to ICAI. However, all put together, the registration fees for foundation, intermediate and final exam is within Indian rupees 50,000 approximate for Indian students. Additionally, the students are required to pay exam fees as and when they appear for the exams at various levels. However, same is not more than the registration fees. This is the total fees being charged by the ICAI for the entire CA course. However, considering the depth of the syllabus and papers, students may require coaching classes for different subjects and they might have to pay the coaching fees to the coaching classes. However, if proper guidance is there, student can pass this exam without any coaching class as well. Let's understand the process of CA exam. There are two routes for entry in CA course. First, through CA Foundation exam route, and second, direct CA Intermediate exam route. Let us now understand the CA Foundation route. Under this route, a student can register with ICAI for CA Foundation exam after appearing in 10th class exam. After registration, a student can appear in June/December exam after completing 4 months of study period after appearing in 12th class examination. After passing the 12th class and foundation exam, student can register for intermediate exam. Let's talk about route 2, that is direct entry and intermediate exam. Any graduate student can register for intermediate exam. Commerce graduates require minimum 55% marks in graduation. Other graduates can do so with minimum 60% of marks. Further, intermediate level passed candidates of the Institute of Company Secretaries of India and the Institute of Cost Accountants of India can also register for CA Intermediate exam. After registering for intermediate exam, students are required to complete 8 months of theoretical education for the intermediate course. Then they can appear and pass intermediate exam. After passing the intermediate exam, steps are common for both Route 1 that is entry through foundation exam and Route 2 that is entry through intermediate exam. Once the intermediate exam is passed by the students, they are required to complete integrated course on information technology and soft skills, ICITSS, information technology and orientation course. Then students are required to register for 2 years practical training after passing the intermediate exam and ICITS. Thereafter students can register for CA final exam. Before appearing in CA final exam, the students are required to complete the self-paced online module, SPOM, and practical training. Thereafter, students can undergo and qualify advanced ICITS after completion of practical training but before appearing in the final examination. Thereafter students can apply and appear in final examination after completing 6 months from the end of the practical training period. Once CA final exam is passed, the students can become a member of the ICAI. Now, let us talk about the expectations of ICAI at various levels of CA course. At foundation level, ICAI expects both applications as well as comprehension and knowledge. At intermediate level and SPOM, Set C and D, students are expected to have analysis and application as well as comprehension and knowledge. At final level and SPOM, Set A and B, ICAI expects students to have evaluation and synthesis, analysis and application and comprehension and knowledge. Let's have a look on the papers at all levels the CA course has. Let us start with foundation exam. Foundation exam has total 4 papers of 100 marks each. These are Paper 1, Accounting, Paper 2, Business Laws, Paper 3, Quantitative Aptitude, Business Mathematics, Logical Reasoning, Statistics, and Paper 4, Business Economics. Passing criteria for CA foundation exam. The candidates will be declared to have passed the foundation examination if he or she obtains at one sitting a minimum of 40% marks in each paper and minimum 50% marks in the aggregate of all papers. Please note that papers numbers 1 and 2 will be subjective type while paper numbers 3 and 4 will be objective type with negative marking. Please remember there is negative marking in foundation examination. Let's have a look on the papers of intermediate exam. Intermediate exam has total 6 papers of 100 marks each. These papers are further divided in 2 groups. Group 1 has 3 papers, namely Paper 1, Advanced Accounting, Paper 2, Corporate and Other Laws, and Paper 3, Taxation, that has 2 sections of 50 marks each, Section A, Income Tax Law 50 marks, and Section B, Goods and Services Tax, GST, 50 marks. Group 2 also has 3 papers, namely Paper 4, Cost and Management Accounting, Paper 5, Auditing and Ethics, Paper 6A, Financial Management, and Paper 6B, Strategic Management. Passing criteria for intermediate exam. For students appearing in both groups together, the candidates will be declared to have passed the intermediate examination if he or she obtains at one sitting a minimum of 40% marks in each paper and in each of the groups and minimum 50% marks in the aggregate of all papers of each of the groups, or if he or she obtains at one sitting a minimum of 40% marks in each paper and minimum 50% marks in the aggregate of all papers of both the groups taken together. Passing criteria for intermediate exam. For students appearing in single group, the candidates will be declared to have passed the intermediate examination if he or she obtains at one sitting a minimum of 40% marks in each paper and minimum 50% marks in the aggregate of all papers of that group. Let's talk about self-paced online module, SPOM, with a view to devise a new approach for developing, updating, and delivering professional accountancy education and training. The ICAI has introduced for the first time in the scheme of education and training 4 self-paced online modules. Sets A, B, C, and D, encompassing different fields. As the name suggests, a student can learn and qualify the modules at their own pace after qualifying the intermediate level examination. At the time of registration of final course, students would be required to register for self-paced online module. Set A and Set B would comprise of mandatory online modules, namely Corporate and Economic Laws and Strategic Cost and Performance Management, respectively. Set C and Set D would comprise of online modules, wherein a basket of options would be made available to a student, and he can choose one each under each set from the options available to him. In conclusion, the students are required to complete the SPOM by appearing in online SPOM exams. Let's have a look on the papers of SPOM. SPOM has 4 sets consisting of 1 module of 100 marks each. Set A module, Corporate and Economic Law, and Set B module, Strategic Cost and Performance Management, are mandatory and students are required to have expert knowledge in these subjects. Set C and D have elective papers and students are required to select one module out of the list of modules given under Set C and Set D. The students are required to gain working knowledge of these modules. Set C has a list of 10 optional modules, namely 1. Risk Management, 2. Sustainable Development and Sustainability Reporting, 3. Public Finance and Government Accounting, 4. The Insolvency and Bankruptcy Code, 2016, 5. International Taxation, 6. The Arbitration and Conciliation Act, 1996, 7. Forensic Accounting, 8. Valuation, 9. Financial Services and Capital Markets, and 10. Forex and Treasury Management. Set D has list of 4 optional modules, namely 1. The Constitution of India and Art of Advocacy, 2. Psychology and Philosophy, 3. Entrepreneurship and Startup Ecosystem, and 4. Digital Ecosystem and Controls. Passing criteria for SPOM. A student has to qualify these online modules, sets, for appearing in final examination. The minimum marks for qualifying each module is 50%. There is no restriction in the number of attempts. Students would be permitted to change the subject opted for in Set C and Set D. The marks obtained in self-paced online modules will not be aggregated with the marks obtained in the core papers for the purpose of assessment. Friends, let's talk about the final stage of CA exam, that is final examination. Final examination has 2 groups consisting of 3 papers of 100 marks each. Group 1 has 3 papers, namely Paper 1, Financial Reporting, Paper 2, Advanced Financial Management, Paper 3, Advanced Auditing, Assurance and Professional Ethics. Group 2 has 3 papers, namely Paper 4, Direct Tax Laws and International Taxation, Paper 5, Indirect Tax Laws, and Paper 6, Integrated Business Solutions. The Paper 6 will consist of multidisciplinary case study involving papers 1 to 5 at the final level, along with self-paced online modules sets A and B and strategic management. Passing criteria for final exam. 4 students appearing in both groups together, the candidates will be declared to have passed the intermediate examination if he or she obtains at one sitting a minimum of 40% marks in each paper and in each of the groups, and minimum 50% marks in the aggregate of all papers of each of the groups, or if he or she obtains at one sitting a minimum of 40% marks in each paper and minimum 50% marks in the aggregate of all papers of both the groups taken together. Passing criteria for final exam. 4 students appearing in single group, the candidates will be declared to have passed the intermediate examination if he or she obtains at one sitting a minimum of 40% marks in each paper and minimum 50% marks in the aggregate of all papers of that group. After passing the CA final examination, students can apply for the membership of the ICAI and start their journey in this rewarding profession. Thanks for watching this video. If you have found the content of this video useful and meaningful, please like and share the video. Please subscribe the channel for more such videos.